god, this video is going to be a mistake. So, if you've been around in the Black Butler fandom for, well, any conceivable amount of time, you've probably borne witness to an exchange like this.
Sebastian and Ciel are not in a relationship. Shut up!
No, they're in love. That's illegal. It's canon though. Says who? They literally kiss in this official art. Oh my god. They literally kiss in official art? Well, it's out of character! Have you ever asked yourself why? What context would allow for this drawing to be made? I mean, Japan has become more progressive over the years, but posting near explicit yaoi content for a duo in a mainstream series, one of which is severely underage, is a little bit peculiar. Sure, it's Black Butler. Black Butler is known for its kind of suspicious official artwork. I'm going to show a censored slideshow to desensitize you before we get in. This is the fandom we're working with.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So for a fandom notorious for creating such treasures as that, this seems like the next biggest step, right? Well, I don't know. It often feels like Yana Taboso, the creator, was just posing her dolls in an interesting way for her own benefit or aesthetic reasons, and that the anime company was mostly just trying to bait people but not exactly giving them what they want. And if that's true, then this would be exactly giving them what they want. There isn't really any emphasis on what the character's implied relationship would be. In fact, most fans like to see the official artwork as being out of character, out of universe, and in some cases out of mind. There isn't any official art that indicates that Ciel genuinely loves Sebastian in that way. There might be official art that could be seen as Sebastian predating on Ciel, but that's just a basis of the show. So why do they make official art that appears to be a mutual kiss? I don't remember season 2 ending like this. Did you two start making out as soon as the credits rolled? Did you just change outfits and then start going at it? Get out there, boy. Recently I bought the Black Butler season 2 official guidebook, The Final Record, and while I quickly learned that most of the official art we see spread around online actually comes from magazine scans and wasn't included in the book, I still had that moment of euphoria when I thought, wait, well, the kissing artwork isn't in the book, so it isn't official. It's a fake from 2010 that got spread around. Ha! Serves you right. I win! I did not, in fact, win. The Black Butler fandom is known for lying to themselves. We tricked ourselves into thinking Eloise appears in Ciel in Wonderland in a pink outfit. What happens in 2010 establishes an unstable foundation, and art gets spread around without fact-checking. Similarly, we're still fighting the repercussions of the Black Butler was meant to be a yaoi rumor. It's easy to lie here, but this, shockingly, was not an instance of anyone lying. Anyway, back to my book. This disappointment, when I realized it was official, led me on a hunt. There's only ever been one scan of this image. You can tell because it's got a specific reflective glow on Ciel's face, the kind you'd get from scanning something, and the kind that wouldn't be repeated if you scanned multiple different pictures of the same picture. Anyway, the marks are in the exact same spot no matter where you find the image, ergo only one picture of this ever breached containment. And so the original version of it looked like this. It's a music ad for season 2's soundtrack. They call it an eternal waltz. I guess they were supposed to be waltzing, not kissing, but you know what you were doing. Their faces were way too close. I think it could also be noted that the Black Butler fandom's wiki has a page dedicated to magazine scans. However, even though this particular picture was very widespread, and it did not take me very long to find the version of it with all the writing, it still wasn't on the magazine page. Because it's not in a magazine. It's an advertisement.
Actually, I might have been lying about that. Whoops, sorry, me when I spread misinformation on the internet. There's no definitive proof that it's actually a music advertisement, except for the fact that it just mentions waltz a bunch of times. That being said, it's still being used to promote the DVD of the show, so if you hear me say CD or whatever, I mean the DVD. That's what this is used to promote. Whoops! Judging by the rip on the page, we can tell it probably wasn't from a magazine because they don't tear like that. It was found with a interview between Claude's voice actor and Sebastian's voice actor, so no matter what it was definitely used to promote the show and also used to really sell out the ending of the show. I think my points still work, but fuck, that's embarrassing.
As I was scanning for any signs of illegitimacy, I noticed something very interesting in the tiny corner of the picture. It claimed that this piece was illustrated by Hiroki Harada. It was painted and finished by Ryuichi Furuichi. And then the background was done by Manabu Suzuki. I might have gotten those names wrong, I'm so sorry. As stated in my guidebook, those people in that order were responsible for this piece, and also this piece, and this piece. This is the Black Butler official art dream team, and when I found Hiroki's account on Xeno-chan, I saw even more Black Butler official art that person provided. And one of those pieces was this one, which I had never seen before. Does it look familiar? Yes, so for this art, I don't really know where to begin with this because it's basically the same picture, just, kind of off. To analyze the first one, you can see it's almost entirely black, obscuring a lot of the details. The background is also a lot less rendered, and Ciel is in his daily outfit, not his emo demon clothes, which is how he ended season 2. And then if you look at this other picture, the quality is atrocious, I know, but the sky is definitely more gradient. There's more shadow instead of just black patches, and Ciel is also in the outfit that would be appropriate for this scene. Objectively, this one is the better drawn official art, but that doesn't take away from the fact that they're basically the same image. In fact, Sebastian is practically traced. Not to mention, well, we all know Hiroki worked on both. Meaning that, because down to the scene and color palette, it's made off a different picture entirely, this is probably the lowest ever official art I've ever seen, second only to those drawings where they just traced over Ciel and put Aloise, and yeah, there's a lot of those. Hey, small tiny palette cleanser, as I try not to imagine all the people about to send me anon hate. Have you ever wondered why this particular official art makes you viscerally uncomfortable? And I know we're talking about uncomfortable official art, but in my opinion, this is the most disturbing one. It's because it's the only one where Aloise is on the left-hand side as opposed to the right. Whereas in almost every other panel where he is shown with Ciel specifically paralleling Ciel or at least interacting with him, he's on the right-hand side. And in Japan, people read from right to left. That makes things that appear on the right naturally appear more domineering, more aggressive towards the passive left. And this is really interesting because that's exactly what Aloise is in the story. But it's reversed here because they didn't want Ciel's eye patch to be the thing facing the audience. It's fair and I wish the best for the artist, but also, oh boy, does it make me mad! Well, even if it's heavily based on a different picture, that doesn't erase the fact that it's still real, someone affiliated with the show still made it, and it was still used to promote the show, so in some contexts, it could be seen as canon. But what context allowed it to be greenlit? And that's where this video gets more speculative. I found some evidence, but it's not concrete, so from where you're sitting, we have two options. Option 1, I know what I'm talking about. Option 2, no I do not. No one does, no one ever will, this picture will forever remain a mystery. But that's fun to literally no one, so I'm going to keep talking. And also, if you guys find proof of something else, you are free to tell me and, make your own little case file in the comments. If I get horribly embarrassed, I might take this video down, but I'm pretty sure this is what it is. So, okay. I tried my absolute hardest to find the source of this picture, and what I came up with was a live journal community for torrenting Black Butler media from 2010. Which is a comforting thought, the idea that even back then we were together, forever, breaking the law. Anyway, there was one person who was set in Japan who went by the username SpaceCat, and they've been given a lot of credit, basically, for supplying the Black Butler market. They were the dealer. They also were the one who found the infamous kiss picture out in the wild and gave it to their friend to give to the internet, or at least they're credited as such. And one extremely indicative thing that they mentioned when they were selling some of their goodies from Japan was this: clear files only available at Summer Comiket 09. Has the ad for the soundtrack inside. I have a few of these. $10 US. While this would have taken place in 2009 as opposed to 2010, it couldn't have been applied to this kiss picture specifically, but it's still notable because it mentions a place and a time where an
exclusive
musical advertisement was being sold. And the thing is, the place where it was being sold was fucking Summer Comiket.
And while it's definitely not uncommon for large anime corporations to advertise their stuff at Comiket, Comiket does attract a very specific crowd, and if you were to be advertising to that specific crowd, well, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Do you know what Comiket is? Comiket is one of the biggest conventions for selling doujinshi. Comic Market, more commonly known as Comiket or Comic, is a semi-annual doujinshi convention in Tokyo, Japan, a grassroots market focused on the sale of doujinshi, self-published works. Comiket is a not-for-profit fan convention administered by the volunteer-run Comic Market Preparation Committee. Like their mainstream counterparts, doujinshi are published in a variety of genres and types. However, due to the target audience, certain themes are more prevalent, and there are a few major division points by which the publications can be classified. A major part of doujinshi, whether based on mainstream publications or originals, contains sexually explicit material, due to both the large demand for such publications and the absence of restrictions official publishing houses have to follow. Indeed, often the main point of a given doujinshi is to present an explicit version of a popular show's characters. And when I say explicit material, I mean explicit material. What did you expect from the Black Butler fandom? For this video, I actually managed to find some Black Butler doujinshis that I clicked on in a state of pure and complete lack of impulse control, and there was a lot, and the subject matter at hand, but even the nastiest AO3 tags to shame, so we just gotta have that out there. Even though other fandoms might provide more wholesome art and alternate stories, this particular group was just straight up selling porn. So, it's 2010. You've just spent an exciting day at Comiket. You have a real stack of filthy Black Butler doujinshis. You just got some snacks at the food pavilion. You took pictures of some cool cosplayers. Now it's time for some me time. And as you flip through the pages, your eyes fall on one thing. Between all the fan-made content, there it is. The corporation of Black Butler trying to appeal to the audience of people like you and trying to get you to buy the soundtrack.
DVD.
We need an advertisement for doujinshi con goers. Make them kiss. What? No. We shall make them waltz, but with their faces being very close. And so that's that. To recap, this picture was made cheaply and quickly because it was never meant to be widespread. It was only ever intended to be an advertisement specifically geared for a doujinshi selling convention. That would mean they probably had less restrictive rules, since their audience isn't the usual assortment of teenagers and their parents they usually get. They're allowed to be a little wild with it, and at a convention that is literally dedicated to selling smut, we have a pretty good idea of what wild meant. So for all you who said they wouldn't do that, it's out of character, at the end of the day, this picture had nothing to do with the characters. It was a marketing ploy for a corporation to make as much bank as they could from Comiket enjoyers. Because whatever you choose to ship, whatever you choose to enjoy, however you choose your time, none of that matters to these people. What matters is money.
I'm gonna be so for real. I don't have as much proof as I'd like to believe I did. That being said, I'm hoping my natural charisma helps carry me through and gets this point across. Even though this isn't a particularly, we don't have proof that this is what happened, this is a conceivable possibility for why something like that might exist. I just need to clarify that, because we really have no proof. We have no proof why this exists. Why does this exist?
What are you reading?
Nothing really, just,
What are you reading?